Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. Rugby league enthusiasts, Supercoach nerds, punters, we got a big episode for you. We're going to go over stats, signings, origin review, more stats, previews, reviews, everything. Massive episode. I'm Age, Mick, and Jimmy. How are we, boys?
Mate, flying. It's been a minute since we've had a pod, so it's good to be back. I'm excited.
Mick, what about yourself after a big Blues win? Are you buzzing?
I'm buzzing.
What about after a South loss?
Well, I'm still repping South.
That is a very nice jersey.
It's one of our best.
It's beautiful.
What is that jersey
It's
for?
the jersey we're wearing this weekend against the Raiders.
Oh, there you go.
Because apparently the green clashes with their green, so we have to do an alternate kit. That's apparently
That
the
is
rule.
a sick jersey.
You know what? I'm kind of glad because this Sevens jersey is unbelievable.
Delicious.
Yeah, we will touch on Origin a bit later on, but let's start with some massive signing news. Lockie Galvin came on our potty. He said everything, like he was happy with the Tigers. He also mentioned that Phil Gould was a massive influence in rugby league, and he has heard what Phil was saying about him. What do we make of the signing?
I think it's a good signing for the Dogs. I mean, it sucks that the Tigers had to sort of let him go in the way it ended, a bit rough in the end, but
Yeah.
in terms of the Dogs, I've never really seen a team be first on the ladder and get such a superstar quality player. The last time I can sort of think of something similar happening was when Panthers were top of the table and they got like Tavita Pangai Jr., but he was a bench forward.
Yeah.
Now
And they're getting unders as well. Like
Yeah.
they're paying him less than what Tigers offered.
The Tigers still paying some.
They're still paying a bit of it as well. Yeah, the early release. But
I
yeah,
don't
what do you
know.
reckon? Where does he fit in?
I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I thought he was going para for sure. And then, all this stuff about the Dogs, but I don't know. Like, it's a bit of a weird one, right? Like, dogs come first on the table, like, are they going to change the whole team to, like, fit him in? Like, yeah, he's a great player, but, like, what's the saying? Like, don't
change anything that's not broken or
Yeah.
something like that. Don't fix anything that's
If it
not
ain't
broken.
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But at the same time,
Like, he's a great player.
I also think
I love him.
it's tough because it's like, if you look at the team that they have, yes, they're first, but then could you confidently say someone like Sexton, even Tracy at fullback, can win him a comp? Like any team that
Can
wins
Galvin win him a comp? Like, he's only 18, 19.
But that's the thing. You got 10 years with Galvin. And if he's the superstar everyone thinks he is, it increases your chances in the long run.
As we've all heard, Phil Gould said he's the best teenage prospect he's ever
sure.
seen.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why they want him at the club.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense with the timing of it all, the early release, and like they're coming first.
Like mid-season.
Sexton's got him to first with the likes of everyone
Yeah.
else, but it is sad.
Like, does he play six?
Well, I think it's going to be Sexton having to make way, right? And then Galvin, because we know Dearden can't play 7. Dearden's an out-and-out 6. So Galvin will have to go 7.
Yep.
So
Galvin 7.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Apparently their long-term plans, like for future, is Hayward 7, Galvin 6, Dearden lock.
Dearden
Yeah.
lock or Galvin lock?
Dearden lock.
Dearden lock.
Birdo
I've heard Dearden fullback. I've heard it all.
With the fact that like Dearden's name's getting thrown around like that, it's
Yeah.
like he's the one that is potentially going to move. And as well, you can put him in the centres if need
But then,
be.
like, you've got Sherry and Critter there. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like a great signing for them, like long term. But like at this point in time, it's a weird one.
Yeah. Like it was for next year, it makes sense. But this year, it's like, where does he fit in? The one thing I do know, he's a great footy player. And
Oh, mate.
mate, he's tall. He's going to fill out
Rangy,
heaps.
yeah.
Long-term, great option. Short-term, don't know where he fits. Does he come back through Cup? Is he going to play this week? He's on the extended
To play
bench.
14. Like,
Yeah.
Apparently he's debuting this week.
I don't know.
Off the bench. So we
Mixed
shall
mail.
see. But yeah, I feel like it's a ticking time bomb for Sexton there. I feel like he's pretty much gone.
You'd be dirty if you're
Well,
Sexton.
he's not going to get re-signed for next
You'd
year.
be pretty
and
dirty if you're Sexton.
You
That's
would.
sort
But
of
I feel like there'll be clubs ready to snap him up. You know, he's done a great job to get him there.
And
Yeah,
Marnie
for
as
sure.
well on the outer. That's a big loss, considering
Yeah.
he was their club captain a few years back. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
Yeah. But no, it is. It's interesting. It makes sense why Eels didn't get him after he was saying he wanted a more experienced coach to learn off. So it didn't make sense going from Benji to Riles because he's
Well,
probably...
where does that leave Para, though, with Brown leaving?
Well, they got no Brown. Does Dean Hawkins get a run finally? He
Or
played
does
good.
Joshua Papali?
Joash Papali'i.
Yeah.
Is he not a fullback?
I think
though?
he's more of a fullback. He could be.
Well, played in the
could
middle on the
transition to a
weekend.
6.
Like, they can transition him into
Yeah.
a 6.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
he's a good player.
I think it's a big loss for Parallel. They probably banked on like, all right, we're losing Brown. Hey, we've got a mill now. We got Galvin locked in.
perfect replacement for Brown.
Yeah.
Because Moses will steer around, Galvin gets to do his thing.
I feel like it's going to be another tough year for Para if they just don't get another marquee. Like, you're losing Brown, who's one of your best players. So
Yeah.
they just keep bleeding all these players.
It is
out.
rough for Para, but they have a lot of money for anything that opens up.
Yeah.
In other
So,
news,
yeah.
Mitch Barnett, probably the biggest injury news in recent weeks, torn ACL
Poor
against
bastard.
the Rabbitohs
Yeah.
In the first or second half
Yeah.
there. So not good from him.
Yeah, as soon as like he sort of went down, we saw the replay of him landing on it and it buckling.
Yeah.
It wasn't good news. They
think-
did the test. He walked straight off.
I think you watch enough
Yeah.
footy and play enough Supercoach to know when it's an ACL. And
Yeah.
as soon as they start doing that mechanism test,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went off straight away. It was
and then
really
you get
bad.
the notification from NRL physio saying
Yeah.
doesn't look good. Like all
Physio,
signs
man,
point
he-
to ACL.
Mate, honestly,
He doesn't miss NRL
it's a big
physio.
loss for the Warriors. Obviously,
Huge loss.
Lucky that Fisher Harris came back very timely.
Yeah.
And someone like Jackson Ford can step up into the role.
Yeah.
Probably
Even
can't.
Aaron Clark in the middle.
Yeah,
He's just going to
yeah.
keep doing what he's doing.
It's a big loss, but I feel like
Yeah.
they've got
I
enough
think
players
in their
there.
favour, like they've got some good young forwards. Like
Yeah.
Vaimonga's
Vaimonga's a beast,
is
eh?
an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Lecker's
obviously good.
Lecker,
But he's an
Halasima,
edge runner.
like on the edge. Like
Yeah.
they've got good players. So it's a huge loss though,
Yeah.
even for Wires and Blues as well, obviously. For Origin.
Well, yeah, on the Blues, I mean, everyone's talking who's going to be the replacements. Top candidates, Stefano, Utoikamanu, Keaon Koloamatangi, Terrell May, Jake Trbojevic, someone even like Josh King can get a run.
Yeah.
Which way are you leaning to personally?
It's
Not
funny-
which way Laurie's leaning to.
It's funny you
We can
say
do both.
Josh King, Mick, because I think Josh King has been playing better footy than Stefano.
Yeah,
I've
for
been
sure.
very underwhelmed with Stefano at Storm.
Hmm.
I thought he was going to deliver way more than he has.
Yeah.
Like being their marquee signings, come over, and he's just not making as much impact. Not even playing the minutes. Like he ran for only 100 meters against Titans. Like I don't see how he got into that top 20 last week for the Blues game 1. But he's there, and Bellamy could be his biggest advocate, and he might get picked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick him though. I'd be picking May or Keaon Koloamatangi.
Yeah, Keon's been in unreal form, and he's been playing in the middle, so could play him. May's probably the best option, I'd say. The one that
I
makes
feel like that
sense.
ship sailed. I feel like Laurie won't pick him. I know he's probably the most
Yeah.
informed forward, bar like Payne Haas and maybe
Yeah.
Keaon himself.
Like, will these forwards start?
I feel like they could start Max
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
They could do a Max King, or they could start like Stefano
Yep.
or
Yeah.
Jake Trbojevic.
I think Keon, in terms of like who's been performing
Like
the
punch?
best, him and May, probably the two best. But the tough part for Keon is I felt like Laurie probably wasn't looking at him as a forward for the last
As a middle
as a
forward,
middle
yeah.
forward, and then now like he's had 3 good weeks, but is that 3 weeks enough to get him in? Like I think definitely,
Yeah.
but
I don't
if
know what
Laurie
else
will pick him.
Keaon could be doing though to get in. He's scoring tries, he's breaking tackles, he's offloading, he's tackling his ass off, playing 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Like this guy in the middle is a freak.
But remember,
For
he,
his
he didn't
career-
pick May as well.
He didn't
so-
pick May.
But they-
For Keon's career, he has to stay in the middle.
Yeah. Like, do they go like a Max Kingston and you pick another back row?
I was thinking that, but you don't want Huddy and like an Olakawatu, 2 back rowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be another middle. I think I would pick, as I said, May or Keon, but I think Laurie will go Steph or Gerbo.
He was right there. He's done a full training
Yeah.
camp as well. I mean, I feel like he will go with Big Steph from
As a
Melbourne Storm.
Queenslander, I'd be praying they pick Stefano. He didn't deliver the last time he played for the Blues, and he's out of form. So,
It's a big loss.
yeah, it will be
big
interesting to
loss.
see what they
Barnett
do.
was great in game 1.
Speaking of Origin, let's talk about the Blues. Massive win, 18-6. It was sort of a domination there. 14-2 at halftime. You had the sin bin.
Yeah.
We're watching it with you, Jimmy. Had a bit of hope there with the sin bin, but just wasn't working, was it?
Just wasn't good enough at the end of the day.
What
it was
do you
disappointing.
what do you put it down to?
Well, I think our forwards got dominated. I think that's probably didn't help our cause.
Yeah.
Cherry was quiet. Munster was pretty quiet.
Ponga didn't have a great game. Harry Grant had one of his... Your whole
Grant-
spine was pretty ordinary.
pretty
And that's
ordinary.
on the back of the forwards.
It was
They
an
didn't-
ordinary watch.
Forwards got dominated early.
Our attack just wasn't crisp at all.
No, silly penalties.
I don't know if there was a stage where, like, I ever thought Queensland would win. It was weird. Like, it just didn't happen for you guys
Yeah.
quick enough. And then even in the second half, when you were chasing points, like, you were playing
Just-
that same
yeah.
style that just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And you scored a try off, like, a Latrell error at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like you made it out yourself. So,
Yeah. Do or die, series on the line.
Mm.
What are the changes that are going to be made? Because you have to hit the panic button now.
I don't know if you would hit the panic button. I don't like. I would love to see changes, but I don't foresee a huge amount of change.
Put your Billy Slater mask on, Jim. What are you changing?
I'd put Dearden in.
Yeah, Dearden for Cherry. Straight swap.
Yeah.
Cherry out of the squad.
Cherry out.
14, then?
14, I go Kurt Mann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14.
Ben Hunt doesn't get a sniff. Is Ben Hunt named this week? So he's still injured.
He's still injured.
So you're starting Harry, even though he hasn't won an Origin game starting.
Start Harry.
Yeah.
Have Mann at 14 because he can play in the
Bit
middle.
of hooker, bit of middle, yeah.
I think Talangi comes back in.
Yeah, on the wing. So where does Holmes go?
Either Holmes or Hammer, probably one of them.
One
has
of them
to go.
make way, yeah.
So
Because
Toya stays?
I think Toya stays.
Okay. Yeah.
I was pretty impressed with Toya.
He did have a good debut.
Yeah, and
Handled
I think
Terrell pretty well.
I think a lot of people are banging on the door about Horsburgh, but I don't think he would make a difference.
I think he will because Canberra have won the most games in the NRL.
Yeah, I
and
know
you want
that.
players that have mongrel in form, second phase play, bit of a
I
sidestep
just think
to
his
him.
form hasn't been as good in recent weeks. I think he's sort
He's
of fallen
still,
off a
I
little
still
bit.
much rather him than like a Liero, Fotuaika in the middle.
I'd also have Firma starting and Cotter to the middle.
Yeah, Cotter's not an edge runner.
Nah.
Personally,
Great tackler.
I didn't like Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Collins.
Yeah, I didn't think he.
I don't know if he's doing enough, even for the Roosters on the weekend when he played.
He's coming back from that knee injury.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same, obviously.
That was a surprise pick. But
And I think that's what really hurt. Like, even in the second half when you were chasing points, like you went to your bench and it was just like,
Yeah.
like, what are these people going to do? Like,
I thought Dearden was good when he came on.
Firma plays 10 minutes. What?
Dearden was good,
what's
but
the
he was
point?
up against like tired bodies.
Yeah.
Like, will he make an impact playing the 80 minutes?
We've been playing well for
He's
the
been,
Cowboys.
he was our
Seven.
player of the week last week. He was
Yeah.
unbelievable last week.
He's a great player. So
But Cherry also had a massive game as well. You know, absolute clinic.
yeah, it's hard to
for
drop
Manly.
Cherry because he's a captain.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough.
I feel like if he's not getting dropped this game and they lose, he's definitely dropped the next game. So they plan
If
for the
they-
future.
if they lose.
If they lose, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll see what happens.
It's ticking.
There-
It's ticking
you
to
had a
Cherry.
few shining lights. I think Nanai was one of your best.
Nanai's probably the
Tino
best.
and obviously Rob Toya. They're like
Carrigan.
all
Yeah, they were all
really,
solid.
really solid.
But like
to the
you
middle.
couldn't have asked for a worse performance all round though.
Nah.
So I think it's going to be a different story game too.
Hopefully.
You'd hope for your sake.
One that probably leads into my next one, Reece Walsh, named for the Broncos. My question is, Broncos are broken right now. Will Walsh save them? And if he saves them, will he save the Maroons?
Wow, that'll be ballsy from Billy to get him straight back in.
Yeah.
Ponga ankle
Off
injury
one
as well
game.
though.
Off one game.
If he brains it and Ponga has a quiet game, I can see it happening.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, do you stick with Ponga? He was really ineffective game one. Doesn't look
I
himself.
just don't think he got the ball that.
No.
No.
But he also doesn't look himself like bringing it out of his own end. He was sort of like just like stopping in
I
contact.
think that was another thing. I think Cleary and Moses' kicking game
It was a lead.
Yeah.
it was so good where like
Two of the best kickers.
Ponga's catching it 10 metres out from his own line and he has to, he's got a set defensive line. There's not much he can do.
Yeah. So you're happy to stick with Ponga?
I'll stick with Ponga.
Yeah. I'm keen to see this week. Like, if Ponga doesn't show much against Manly
Yeah.
and then Walsh has a blinder, albeit it's going to be against Titans, there's definitely going to be pressure there.
Tough part for Ponga is as well, like his club form wasn't great going into Origin. Like he was sort of just picked on form and previous form in the Origin arena, and then he didn't deliver, and now it's like, oh shit, the drums are still beating.
It was sort of by default, right? Just put him in there. Even Hammer, I don't think he's a great defensive centre.
Like you could go Hammer fullback.
He made
if
some
you
bad
want.
reads. Chuck Hammer fullback maybe.
That try that Lomax scored where it was like a training run. On
Yeah.
the, on
Yeah, that was
the
a bad.
edge there.
That was a
Horrible.
bad watch.
Yeah.
Horrible. But back to the Broncos. Plenty to play for this weekend.
Mate, they're
Is this the week then they bounce back like against the Titans in last place?
like even if they do, like you wouldn't even say that they're back. Like I just don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like Hassie's trying his ass off. Carrigan's trying his ass off.
I swear it's the same story every week.
Like,
It
I don't
is.
know. Mam and Reynolds, they're having like a few good glimpses here and there, but they're inconsistent.
I think Mem helps them.
Yeah,
I think
he definitely
Walsh
helps
come
them.
back will help all of
That'll
them.
help.
Yeah, I think their
That'll help.
fullbacks that they had like with Cole and Arthurs, it was lacking creativity. There wasn't much going on there.
No, it wasn't.
Disjointed.
I don't know if
And they're
Arthur
like-
can play.
With the Broncos, they're just trying to like score a try on every play. Like coming out of their own end, they're like dropping balls, and it's just like
It's a bit frantic.
they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
And
like with
it,
these
like
games.
it worked round one when they put 50 odd on the Roosters, but
Yeah.
that's because it was everyone's fresh. No one's used to this ball play. And then now everyone's like, well, if you're going to make mistakes coming out of your own end, we'll just score
Like
another
everyone
one.
now, you just Haas is working his ass off. You wrap the ball up, then it's just like you get your set your defense, and then
Yeah.
Their
And now
attack's
they,
just
they
not
push
there.
they push Carrigan back to lock to hopefully, spark some old form from last year. And then Jensen comes in front row. So I don't know if that's going to change much, but yeah, there's a lot of
is
issues.
Is it Madge?
I don't know if it's Madge. I think it's just like
Or is something else going on behind the scenes?
I just think it's a team. Like I can't say the same yarn about the same everywhere.
Like their
I
squad-
just don't know if the team is they're playing to what their names are.
like that team on paper, top 4 every day of the week.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're like any of those players are playing their best other than Haas and maybe you'd say Carrigan.
Yeah.
Like Stags.
Then Reynolds will have a career
Stags
game every
is-
now and then.
Exactly,
And
it's
Mam had that good
inconsistent.
game 2 weeks ago and they still lost.
Like
Was it against Dragons?
Yeah,
They
it
lost
was
that
against the
one?
Dragons.
Cobber
Yeah.
was one of the best like outside backs for the last 2 seasons, like scoring tries defensively. Now you barely even notice
he's
it.
just like a battering ram at the moment, coming
Yeah.
out of his own end. Like
He just does
Where
beatings,
he's
that's it.
usually unstoppable.
yeah,
Like he can get through 6 people in one run. So they're all playing a bit, under a shell of themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, they can definitely turn around, but it's got to happen
Hopefully
really
it's the last
soon.
time we speak about the Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh, mate,
because
seriously.
like
Because what is it? They've lost 6 of their last 7.
yeah,
They've lost 4
in
in a
trouble.
row.
They're in
Yeah.
big trouble.
And
With
like
a
we
team like that, with a coach like that.
and no excuses in
Yeah.
terms of injuries. Like okay, maybe Hunt, but you got
Yeah,
Man
but-
back and Walsh, maybe the only one. But
Yeah.
still, like
There's not.
Walsh
you still
wasn't
have
great
a
when he was
lot.
playing.
He was exactly. It wasn't like he
Can't
was
blame
their-
injuries.
their best
Okay,
player.
we'll go to the other side of the spectrum. A team absolutely flying.
Oh, I
The
love this
Canberra
team.
Raiders.
Oh, I love
great.
the Raiders.
As we said, one of the best teams to watch. We harp on about them.
Yeah.
We wrote them off at the start of the year like a lot of people. We've said sorry. We fucked up. They're flying.
They are
They
absolutely on
They
fire.
just keep defying the odds every single week.
Yeah, they tried their best to rot them on the weekend.
Yeah.
Mate,
was
seriously,
close.
a couple
With that,
calls.
the half-time try that they scored.
mate, a couple
Sasangi.
calls there. Ashley,
Yeah.
Klein,
That
what's
was
doing?
Barry Crocker in the bunker there.
There's just a lot to like about the Raiders, and
They're the best attacking team in the comp.
the thing that struck me was like they lose Fogarty and Starling, 2 of their spine members.
Yeah.
Other teams will make excuses. They get Paddy and Sanders in,
Yeah.
2 young, inexperienced players, played
Yeah.
probably like 10 games of NRL between them.
Paddy's a good player.
Oh my goodness!
Good player.
You can see they're using Starling like he's great, but they're using it to warm Paddy's hooker spot for either next year or the year after.
Paddy's a good
Yeah, I
player.
think Paddy's earned himself a few more minutes
Yeah.
in the next few weeks because he won that game.
Yeah, I think it was good to see Strange step up a little bit more. Like Sanders was okay. Like he wasn't like
He had a good kicking game on him,
Like,
Sanders.
he was like
composed for a young
he had,
kid.
He had a good king game, but it was good to see Strange
Yeah.
sort of step up a little bit with Fogarty out.
Yeah, that was a bit of a look into the future, that game for the Canberra
it
Raiders.
was. But just their strike,
Sanders
out
7,
wide.
maybe Paddy 9, future 9.
like Tamale's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's my new favorite
The
player.
thoroughbred. He's so
Oh,
young
mate.
and strong. Like,
and
he's
they got a
a
pack
beast.
that won't quit ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like even off their bench, like Mariota comes
Mariota,
on, Papa
Papa
Lee.
yeah.
Lee.
Mariotta's been
good
really
bench.
solid.
Like
Yeah.
Simi Sasangi's been good.
Does a job. Hosking's good.
Yeah. Huddy Young. Like
Just
they've
their
got-
whole all around the park.
Mate, they've got
Like
strike. everywhere.
Tomoko's been solid, had like 23 runs.
Savage.
Weeks is shining in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a good side.
It is a good team. It's
Yeah.
very underrated on paper, but as a team, as a collective,
They all work.
and they're all in form, the players. So yeah, they're a great team.
And it
to
helps
watch at
that
the
no one
moment.
wants to go to Canberra and play in
Yeah.
the freezing cold. I'm going this
You're
weekend.
going, Mick, aren't you?
You're going
Apparently
this
the
weekend.
temperature is 5 degrees, but feels like -1.
-1.
That should be
and
good
you're going to
fun.
be on the sideline.
Just freezing.
Yeah.
I'll bring my
hell.
thermals, bring some layers, and it should be good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. If you want to find the NRL tips, all our tips are on Dabble.
We're on the stream this weekend.
We're on the stream again. Yeah, live stream, Saturday live stream.
Yeah.
12 p.m. or 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
1
say
p.m.
1
Australian
p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
We're giving away heaps of prizes, heaps of Kashinga. If you want to join, link in bio, or download the app and use the code Cast Patrol.
All right. Round 14 preview. Knights, 285, Seagulls, $1.42. Thursday night footy.
Can anyone tip the Knights? I cannot.
Not off
I
their
am-
recent performance. I mean, to be fair,
I'm really
sorry,
off them.
we actually all tipped Knights last week in the
Yeah, it was a
tipping.
shock.
Can we tell what happened?
But yeah, we'll
though?
tell what happened. It was
We're
actually a
being
mistake.
honest.
Like so each week we put our tips in the group chat. Normally do it on this show, so it's easier to track. But we all did.
We didn't
I
have
did,
the
Yeah.
we didn't have the Tuesday party.
Yeah, I did
We didn't do the
Dragons
pod.
in the thing, and then Adrian sent like the graphic in. Of the
I did
tips.
Dragons as well.
Yep. And like I
But
looked
Jim,
at
you
it,
tip Knights.
I actually tipped the Knights.
I was like, oh sweet, there looks good. But then
Yeah.
I was like, when the game was on, I was like, fuck, I'm pretty sure I tipped Dragons. Why have I tipped
Yeah,
Knights?
and I was
Yeah,
riding
no.
on Dragons. And you're like, wait, we all tipped Knights. I'm like, no, we didn't. I checked the graphic. I didn't change everyone's tip from Knights.
Yeah.
The only top row you didn't
So
change.
that was the only row.
But yeah, look, 2 weeks ago they looked unbelievable first 40 minutes against Penrith.
Yeah, on the
And
bye
then
week.
last week what's happened?
I don't
In
know what's
one
wrong with
week,
them.
Like
And
they
without
were just a
Ponga,
completely different team.
I don't know what's going on. It's their defense, lack creativity, errors. Like
Like their
They're just-
attack last week was one of the worst I've seen.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like what
Terrible.
was going on?
They got dominated by the Dragons. Like Dragons played good, but Knights played a lot worse.
Yeah, I don't think you can tip them.
I think they're pretty much locked in that bottom four. They're in big trouble.
They're in big trouble. Yeah.
Massive trouble.
I
So what are they
agree.
coming now? 15th,
Yeah,
2
that's not
wins, 4 wins, sorry. Like
Yeah.
yeah, they're in massive trouble.
they're
They get Ponga back this week, fullback.
Yeah, but is that going to help their problems?
They're just getting worse and worse every week. I
They've
actually
only
feel
won,
bad for them.
hear this, 2 games in their last 10 games.
It's not been good.
2 of 10.
It's a tough watch.
Be stiff being a Knights
And
fan.
considering they were like
Yeah.
top 8 the last few years, like they've never been that bad. Now they're just like don't even know how to attack.
Yeah, because usually Ponga goes on a mad run, but he's out of form. So who's going to
It
be
doesn't
that?
help.
Who's going to be that man?
Well, Fletcher Sharp was, again, unbelievable 2 weeks ago. And then, yeah, they were just non-existent last week. I don't know what's happened in 1 week.
Like there's a small shining lights that you see every now and then, like when Best and Mars are back, that left edge sort of hums a little bit.
Yeah.
You also got Matt Crocker in the middle.
Yeah.
Matt Croker?
Croker.
Croker,
Yeah,
yeah.
Croker.
Croker in the middle that's playing like really, really well. Has been their best forward considering like Leo's been out
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
just-
yeah, you can't tip Knights. And
Like
for that,
Gagai is probably their most informed player. He torched
He
Holmes on the
absolutely
weekend.
torched Holmes.
But yeah, I don't know.
Poor
I'm
Val,
not
eh?
convinced with the Knights at all.
I think you have to go Sea Eagles, especially like the performance they put in against the
the Bronx.
Broncos.
Mm.
30-point win.
Lehigh at fullback looked good.
Yeah.
He's really, really strong.
I
Breaks
don't-
through.
yeah, he's going to be snapped up by a club if they keep playing him on the wing because he's way too good to play wing.
Well, Turbo's 28. It's kind of sad
Yeah.
that they're already talking, oh, maybe Turbo might get pushed on.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, I couldn't believe Lehigh's leading the run meters in the whole
Yeah.
comp.
Yeah.
Bro, he's
Like for a body,
is he
like,
80 kilos or
he's
something?
tiny, but he has a mad fend now. I don't know if you noticed it. He's
Yeah.
just absolutely
Bro,
buncing people with his
He just
fend.
broke through Haas's tackle on the weekend. Like, just straight through the line.
Yeah,
It's like,
he punches above his weight massively.
does.
And then
He's good.
Falalo on the right wing had an absolute blinder of a game.
Yeah, he
Best
was
game I've
good.
ever seen him play.
He's a
Power
good
reports
player.
he's an absolute freak. Like
Yeah.
he's one for the future. They're trying
Yeah.
to lock him up.
100%.
For
He's
their
an absolute
centers.
talent.
They got some good,
Olak had a good
outside
game.
backs.
Cherry had a good game. Brooks played good. Like
They're
they're
another
looking
team
good,
as
man.
well.
Look,
They're a
Jake
bit like-
Voyage comes back.
They're a bit like a roller coaster as well, Seagulls at times.
And Lachlan Croker's back still, which helps.
Helps, yeah.
Like,
Steadies them up a bit.
Yeah.
And
In the middle.
Tavunga's an absolute
So
workhorse.
Seagulls, no brainer there. Sure.
Seagulls, don't look twice. Don't think twice. And if you
don't
want
don't think too much.
if you want a
about
try scorer, Falalo scored 4 tries in his last 4 NRL games.
you
So on the right wing there, and who's the left winger? It's either Marzu if he comes in or Hunt,
it. Fletcher Hunt.
Fletcher Hunt. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a no brainer that one.
All right, next game: Storm $1.20, Cowboys $4.50. Whew, bit of value in that. Bit of value
If it
in
wasn't at Amy
You
Park,
think
Jim,
so?
if it wasn't at Amy Park, I'd give you a
Bit of
sniff.
value there.
But Storm at Amy Park are literally shut the gates. They won 8 in a row at Amy Park. But you guys have won 3 in a row against Storm.
Got a good record against them.
You do. Recent
Just
history.
Storm are just so frustrating to watch, especially when you're on them or if you have them in Supercoach. It's just they play good footy for like 40 minutes and they'll
Yeah.
like put the cue in the rack and just defend that lead. Against Titans, it was a tough watch. Rain
Mate,
didn't help. But
they won 28-16, but they played shit.
shit.
I don't know how to even explain
So
that.
it's promising, but it's also concerning
Well,
that they can do
Cows
shit.
looked like they were going to put 50 on the Tigers. And then that last 15 minutes,
Yeah, big
I had to
defensive
change
issues.
my undies after the game.
You would have been
It was
shitting
fun.
yourself.
Oh,
They were flying home
That
the
was,
Tigers.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
defense
was-
went straight out the window.
I don't know what was going on. Like, we literally just fell asleep and then just let Tigers back in the game.
Yeah.
So that's a concerning sign.
Yeah, Harry Grant and Coates are back as well. So not good. You guys are 1-17. Big inclusions. I'm going to have to go Storm. And if you want a try scorer, Eli Katoa scored 4 in his last 5 games at home.
Yeah, if it was in Townsville, I'd be not picking you guys, but more
Open to
open to the thought.
I
of
don't
it,
think
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a
manifesting that.
smashing. I think it'll be close.
No, I don't think Storm smashed too many teams. Like
It'll be
Yeah.
close. This game will be close.
Storm like playing like the proper shitters of the world. Yeah, but I'm going Storm on this one. Yeah, it's like you said, 8 in a row at Amy Park, and they got their full spine back now. So as soon as they're all playing together, their win percentage just shoots up through the roof.
I'm
Yeah,
going to go.
Storm rarely
the
win
Cows.
13 plus A. They beat
No,
they
they
beat Tigers 60 something nil. I'm just scrolling back like they beat Warriors 13 plus, but other than that, not many teams. So yeah, I think Storm 1-12 is probably the bet there.
I'm going Cows. All right, next game. Dolphins $1.54, Dragons $2.45. Friday night. Blockbuster.
Yeah, both teams have
How
won
is
2
this
apiece.
the 8 p.m. Friday slot?
mate.
What are we doing
I
here?
know.
The
Yeah,
scheduling.
this is not ideal.
This,
but
this should be in the Friday 6 o'clock. Storm Cowboys 8 o'clock.
Is it one of those scenarios where they like have to just like they have
Prime
to give
time,
Dragons and Dolphins like an 8 p.m.
They got to
game?
use them prime time TV.
They have to give them one, and this is the game.
And this is it. It's actually a close game. I don't know how to pick this one. You got Plath and JMK on the extended bench. I don't think they're back yet. Sewer's out for the Dragons. Hammer's coming back at fullback. Tuipulotu's back on the wing.
Sloan drops out.
Sloan's out. Lawson holds his spot on the wing. Had a good game on debut.
Gee, Sloan's a weird one, eh?
Yeah, I don't.
Like what do they do with
I
Sloan?
reckon they're going to put it down to that bomb try when he literally just dropped it. It was guaranteed try. But other
They
than
still won
that,
the game.
he
Like,
didn't
they
really.
can't. Surely they didn't drop him after that.
Well, I think Lawson sort of just like played
But
so
I think
well.
he doesn't go in for work. Like
But
Lawson,
he's doing that. He's sweeping in a lot
He's
now.
trying to
he's
get
trying to
into the
like
game.
hover and
Yeah.
like chase kicks on the other side and stuff.
But the way wingers are now, you need run meters out of
yeah,
your own
he's,
end.
I don't know if
You
he's a
need work.
winger. He's obviously a better
Lawson did like
fullback.
20 odd runs on the weekend.
Yeah, had a big game run meters wise, especially on debut. like-
Dolphins fresh off a bye.
And like they had a massive win over the depleted Bulldogs last time
They're
they
playing
played.
good footy, the
And they held
Dolphins.
their own against the Wars the week before. So like
Yeah.
they're actually all right. Like, and they play that similar mold to like let's say the South Wars. Like they find a way to win sometimes. They're a bit gritty. Dragons although beat the Knights, but I don't know if that's a good form line to go off.
I feel like they're both underrated teams. Like you look at me like, yeah, Dragons, meh, Dolphins, But Dragons are coming 8th, Dolphins are 10th. Like they're
It's a
in
big
that top
game.
8
It's a
contention.
It's a big game for them.
Yeah.
Winner
Top-
goes in the top 8, roughly?
Let me see. So for and against wise difference, Dragons are 3, Dolphins are 42. So if Dolphins beat them, they jump them.
Yeah.
So it's a big game.
It is a big game.
Yeah. Don't know which way you boys are leaning, but I'm going to go the upset here, Dragons. I like what they're doing. I like the middles. Like Hamish Stewart's been good. Toby Couchman. Clemmer had one of his best games. The Bellon's playing good.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there. Tuipulotu's back, try scorer. Yeah, I'm going to go Dragons upset.
I'm going to go the Finns.
Yeah, I think Dolphins at home just get the job done. I don't know if Dragons were like really good or Knights were really shit.
I think the latter.
Yeah.
I'd say the latter.
Few try scorer stats though. These
Yep.
are some juicy ones. Herbie shooting for 7 straight tries in a row. So he scored in the last 6 weeks he's played. Tuipulotu, 5 games this year, 7 tries. So there you go. Chuck that in the
couple
multi.
of try scorers.
There you go. Who doesn't love a try scorer?
All right, Saturday, moving on. Sharks, $1.48. Warriors, $2.70. Shark Park.
Wow.
the Arvo.
Absolute blockbuster.
It's the-
3rd versus 5th.
This is a good game.
Two teams that I can't pick.
man.
Good game.
Yeah, this is tough. This is really tough. What are the stats saying? So Warriors have won 3 of the last 4 versus Sharks. So there's some stats there for the Wild's, but Sharks off the bye, I sort of like that.
But then Sharks, like that game against the Roosters.
yeah.
What was doing
But then
there?
they beat Storm at Shark Park. I think it's at Shark Park,
It is
right?
at Shark Park.
That's why I'm leaning towards Sharks. If it was in New Zealand, I'd probably go Warriors.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this one.
Even the Warriors, like they probably should have sailed away with
Against South.
Yeah, against South. But then like Metcalf misses a few goals. Defensively, they're just not there. But they still win. It's just
They
a tough
find a
one.
way, the Wars. They
No
find a-
Barnett, though. You know,
loss.
we spoke about it earlier in the pod. It's a big loss. Ronaldo's still out. T. Wilton's back, and Sione Katola's back on the wing, so they don't lose too much there.
Yeah.
I think Sharks off the bye with
AFB
AFB against his old club. Yeah, I think he's going to actually put his foot down.
I hate tipping the Sharks. They just kill me. So I'm gonna go Wars on this one. I think like
It's not a bad tip.
no, I don't think it's a bad tip to go an outsider on this one, especially like their form's been really, really good. But yeah, like you said, H, they're not playing in New Zealand, but didn't worry them against Souths.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Don't worry, Warriors fans.
Don't
Don't worry.
I'm going to go the Sharks.
There you go. Sharks, and mixed gone Wars.
All right, Saturday night, Broncos, $1.33. Titans, $3.30.
Right.
Like,
It's usually a Queensland derby, but it's fucking, I don't know, a Pooslinger derby this
How
time.
have
like you could
Titans
almost
fallen off
tip
so bad?
the Titans here and like just hope that the Broncos
They have good recent record against them. They won 3 of the last 4 versus Bronx.
they pumped them like the last couple games ago.
There's a chance. Like
Yeah.
Broncos, as we said, not in great form. Titans aren't great either.
Titans know how to score points. It's just their defense. They actually do not know how to defend, and it's
No.
frustrating.
And I tell you what it is, it's that left edge. The left edge concedes so many tries. I've got a stat here. This one's cooked. So they've played 11 games this year, the Titans. The right wing on the opposition team has scored 15 times.
Yeah.
What is AKP doing in Brian Kelly? Just shooting up.
Wait, the
Who
winger
knows?
alone has scored 15?
The winger, right
So not
winger.
even including the
Not
right
including
centre, right
second
second
rowers. So who's the right winger for this game for Broncos? Is it Cobbo?
Cobbo. Yep.
That's
Cobbo,
probably
yeah.
could be the special of the day there. Cobbo to score,
Yeah.
put him back into form, maybe an Origin jersey.
I'm telling you, the wheels have fallen off the Broncos.
You reckon?
know.
Are you tipping Titans?
No, I'm not.
Hey,
But
come
I'm
on,
just-
do it.
Do
I'm
it,
just
do it.
saying the wheels are off.
Like, I think the wheels are off too, but I think, like, for the
Like,
occasion.
you can't confidently
at
sit
home-
here and tip
no,
the Broncos.
No, I can't. Like, those odds that they're saying there, like, no chance.
Mate.
There's no
But
way.
they're only one win outside the 8. So they're a team that can build a little momentum going into finals. So I don't want to write them off.
I'm not writing them off. They
Not
get
writing
Walshy
them off.
back.
They were a lock for the top
is a
four.
big inclusion.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Their creativity at the back was terrible.
Maybe Carrigan lock spark something. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I think Walsh is if it wasn't Walsh, I'd be like, maybe, but I think they get it done with Walsh.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
He'll be playing for a Queensland jersey as well, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Not Broncos, but not confident.
Yeah,
But
not much
Titans,
confidence.
like, talk about wheels fall off. I don't even know that they can ever get their
What's
wheels
doing with
back.
Fafita?
Well, Titans are dead last.
Apparently, he's coming back next week.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Titans are dead last.
Dead last.
They won 3 games all year, so
But they
It's hard
shouldn't-
to tip
But with that roster, they actually shouldn't be last.
Well, yeah.
You reckon?
Someone's got to come last.
Yeah. This shoots a good point.
Anyway, moving on. Sunday Arvo, Raiders $1.37, Rabbitohs $3.10. Shout out Papa, $3.19, most capped Raider.
yeah, overtakes Jason Croker.
Yeah.
Who's on 318. They're both at 318 at the moment. Sunday, Papa goes first.
And he starts as well.
He's starting, yeah.
I reckon it's a name and first try, Papa.
I think it'd be worth
starting?
It'd be rude not to have like 10
He's
bucks.
starting
for it.
front row.
He's starting.
Oh, they
yeah.
actually put him starting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
just
week.
for this game.
Yeah.
And
He
they
normally
put,
starts
they put
it.
Smithies on the
Smithies
bench.
on the bench.
And I think Tarpany went lock.
Horsburgh.
The Horsburgh lock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same thing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so that could be an omen bet. Tarpany.
Yeah, Raiders.
Are they
Rabbits.
specials, Jim? As a non-South fan?
Oh, it's hard not to like the Raiders at the moment. The way they're going about their business, Sticky, whatever he's doing down there, mate. I like we said before, love watching them play. Yeah, I think they'll win, and I think they'll win well.
Yeah, Raiders are a bit of our hoodoo team. We don't really beat them often.
Have we got
We've lost the
records?
last 3 against them.
Okay.
And we have a crazy stat here against top 4 teams. South have lost 11 in a row against top 4 teams. So we just choke a bit when it's the big dogs. And
It's a good test
it's in
for you,
Canberra.
boys.
It's
It's a
going to
good
be
test.
freezing. We get Cody back and we get Wyden back. That's the only little
Huge
sniff.
inclusions. Yeah.
I
And
think
Terrell's
this
in
is,
form.
this is probably one of the strongest lineups that we've like named 1 to 17. Like,
Yeah.
I think we've overcome that injury hurdle gap now. I mean,
Yeah.
who's like Tai is not in there,
Just
and
Tai, eh?
Cameron Murray, who's not coming.
Yeah,
back.
he won't come back the rest of the year.
So if you look at that forward pack, like there's a lot to like, and obviously you get Jack Wyden and Cody back. That's 2 massive inclusions.
yeah.
So I don't mind it. Like
And
obviously, I'm
like
gonna,
Keaon in the middle, absolutely carving up. Like, I don't know. There is a sniff there. Trell's killing it. We saw what he did in the second half against Warriors. Like,
Yeah.
if he turns it on, we can do it. But I'm not going to tip South. But I'll be definitely riding him home. I'm going Raiders.
You never tip your own team.
As a fan of your own team, it's good to support them, but you also know when they're probably going to lose.
Yeah, but you still
So
tip your team.
for the
You
sake
just-
of
tip it.
catching Mick, because I know he's going to tip South, I'm going to come for him on that tipping comp.
you just
I'm
tip
coming for
South
first.
and you tip your own team and you move on.
yeah.
Nah. The only time I regretted it was against Broncos, where I was like, Broncos win this easy, and we did that miracle field goal, and I was like, fuck, should have tipped him.
What
But
happens, mate?
Canberra, happy to take a
Did
miss
you tip
here.
Warriors?
I
last week?
did, yeah. That was an obvious one.
That wasn't obvious.
Was a flying.
All right. Next game, Sunday, 4 p.m. Tigers, 3.37. Panthers, $1.32.
Yeah, the Riffer won 10 of their last 13 versus Tigers.
Luai finally takes on Cleary.
Yeah, first time
good.
ever in their careers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a
that'll be
few boys
interesting.
will be up against each other. It'll be nice.
Yeah, Taruva, Appy.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. It's a big one
It's a
for
big
them
game.
personally.
What do you think about the Tigers?
It's the 13th versus 14th in the ladder cup.
Okay.
I don't know what you call that, but it's shit. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's a big one for especially Panthers. If they want to play finals this year, you got to win these games.
How many points do Panthers roughly need to get
Bro,
the
well,
eight?
they're on 11. They're
not far
they're
away.
only
They're
like
like 2 wins away.
3 points off, 2 wins. So they can do it. That this Origin period is going to be tough for
I
them.
hate the ladder because I don't know how like many buys teams have had either. Like I feel like Penrith may have had 2 buys already.
Yeah, well, Panthers played 12. No, I don't think so.
Maybe
You just
the
don't
one.
know. I think they have
Yeah.
1. But teams like Dragons, I think, have had 2.
Apparently Raiders haven't had a buy yet.
No, they haven't.
is
They played all
incredible.
13 games.
Like we're halfway through the year. So what? They're just
Yeah.
gonna get I mean, it's good for them. They get 3 buys to end the year, and they're
leading
already
into the finals.
Yeah, they're already up there. They're
already
gonna be
top
well
3.
rested.
Yeah, really good for them.
Yeah. Does anyone see Tigers producing an upset?
I don't know what to make of the Tigers at the moment.
Like, I don't know if Panthers are that good, but I'm also like Tigers
They're a lot better than last year.
a
don't
lot
get me
better, but I feel like they're slipping into their old defensive habits.
wrong. Yeah,
Like you saw it
it
against
looks
the Storm and then against you guys.
Like it
Lucky they brought it back.
yeah, they did. Like even like you said, Penrith. Like, are they even in good form? Like they sort of scraped a win against Para.
Yeah. They're not. They never really
They're
like
not. They're not the
convincingly
same.
win
They're
lately.
not the same team.
No, they're not. But Cleary's still like when he needs to, he can turn it on. I think they'll probably just get it done with everyone fit and healthy. Like,
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
yeah,
I don't think it'll be a blowout.
This might help Penrith's cause. Like no one's really talking about. Everyone's forgotten about Penrith now, and they might just win a few games just over this Origin period. Then they got the bye next
They
week.
make the A.
if they make the A,
They're
watch
scary
out.
to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can win the
But have
comp,
they
but
left it too late? I don't know.
maybe a little bit.
We'll
But
see.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't like what I see from the Tigers at the minute, especially with all this like Galvin noise still sort of there lingering. And Penrith, look, they had an average win against the Eels, but Eels been beating a few teams. So
Yeah.
I'm
can't-
liking
can't
Heath.
discredit-
Heath Mason looked really good last
Yeah,
week.
looks good. I
Filling
like
in at 6, incredible. Like great runner of the
Larcher's
ball.
back this week.
Larcher's on the
This will
bench.
be a
Another
look
big
into the
inclusion.
future. Yeah.
Terrell May's doing his thing. Buller's playing good footy. They got a good team. Skelton's back.
Toa's been good.
he's been unreal.
Yeah, Savatoa, very underrated player. Great balance. Like he gets knocked over, breaks tackles,
Mate, he
straight
torched
through.
that Cow's left edge last
Yeah.
week.
But yeah, the Panthers team looks pretty solid, and I'm not willing to tip
Panthers
against
for
them.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers for me.
Okay.
And then Monday, is it King's birthday?
Not his actual birthday, but it's the King's birthday holiday.
Public holiday.
Public holiday,
Yeah.
long
How good.
weekend.
We love that.
Dogs, $1.38, Para, $3.
Love a public holiday. That's nothing better than not going to work and then sitting on the couch at 4 p.m. or at the pub wherever you are and watching this blockbuster.
Yeah.
Does
Does Galvin play?
he's on the extended
off
bench.
the bench.
Do you just give him a
14.
week in cup, learn the system a bit, or just go Galvin,
Bro, do you
bang?
reckon their system's there in Cup? That's shit.
Galvin, just play, mate. You've had a week at
Bulldog
training.
was getting flamed on 360 today for suggesting that. I was like, yeah,
Really?
I agree with everyone flaming him. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's learned the system. Bro, what? They're doing what in Cup? Who's
Yeah,
he going to learn off?
I don't know. But does he? He's not in there. Why is that? Just mind games from Serialdo?
Probably
Who
just,
does he come in for?
Well, there was rumors last week that Sexton was going to be dropped.
Serrano
Hayward.
said
He said Hayward is going to be the 7,
that Sexton will be the
and now they
will be
got
starting.
now they
staff,
got
right?
Galvin. Does he just go straight into the 7 jersey?
No.
Or like not the
Sexton.
jersey, but halfback.
I reckon Sexton plays 7 still, and I reckon Galvin comes off the bench.
For who?
for Moran or something.
Yeah, I think he goes to that utility role.
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting one.
I
Well,
feel like
Hayward's,
they
Hayward's
haven't-
not getting dropped.
I feel like
so
they haven't
They
named
love
him.
Hayward.
He's a gun, Hayward.
They haven't named him off the bench just so like people don't talk about it.
Yeah, like he's there just to play a bit of mind games.
And
like-
he's versing Para.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where he was meant to be going.
You couldn't script this shit.
Yeah, I
You
don't
could
know.
not script this any better.
I don't know,
than
but
this.
either way, I think doggies get it done.
Yeah, they get everyone back. Critter,
Yeah.
Max King, Man, Hiraz,
Yeah.
DSAF as well as back.
They should win. They
They
should
had
win
a
this.
bye last week, dogs?
Yeah.
Or am I tripping? They had a bye.
had a bye
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
So 3 teams in the bye, yeah. They got a good team. I think I'm going to go doggies.
Yeah.
Their
Para,
defen-
Para playing well.
Yeah. Carraz is back as well.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Just defensively, the dogs are just hard to get through.
But this is always a good game. I don't think it'll be a blowout.
Nah, it's always a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, yeah. Dogs. Anyone tipping Eels?
I'm going to go the Dogs.
What about if I give you a stat?
Dogs.
I'll give you a stat, Mick, just to change your mind.
Don't waste my time. Dogs.
Para have won 8 of the last 11 versus dogs.
That's a good stat. But,
It's a good
But
stat.
dogs.
There you go. Dogs it is. That's our tips for the week.
All right.
Listeners.
Listener questions. First one this week at Nate_Nand. Does Ashley Klein favour teams? Do the NRL need to investigate some referees?
I
always
tell you
wondered
what, you got to give credit to Ashley Klein. I think he's actually a really good ref, especially the way he refed Origin. He's really firm on his call and he explains it well. So I'm going to give him a bit of credit. He cops a lot of shit. There has been obviously calls. Everyone makes mistakes, but I think recently, just judging on Origin, he was actually really good. and not just as a biased Blues fan.
I think he's one of the best.
Do you reckon refs have a favourite team? Do they go for teams?
So I was having this discussion with people. I don't know if we spoke on the last one, but I don't think that, when people go, oh, this ref hates coaching against my team or this team.
Reffing it.
I don't think he hates that team. I just think he sees and penalises things different to other referees, if that makes sense. So like
Are you talking about Klein in general? Or
no, just any ref. So let's just say Grant Atkins, right? Rabbitohs fans think that Grant Atkins
because
hates him, right?
he goes for the Panthers or he's on the board or some shit.
Whatever,
his
right?
brother's on the board or something like that.
I just think that maybe he looks at the way that South play, right? And let's just say he's one of those refs that cracks down on slow play the balls.
Yeah.
Because South might do a slow play the ball, he cracks down on it more.
So you think certain referees target certain areas of play or something like that?
Yeah.
Styles of play.
So like Dogs fans reckon they get hard done by Jared Sutton, right?
That's because they threw bottles at him.
Yeah, it's one of them ones, right? But maybe he just looks at a different aspect of way that Dogs either attack or defend.
I think
that matters.
I do remember reading somewhere, because this could be a yarn, but the Melbourne Storm used to get refs in and like just look over how they like train.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. That
It's a
makes
thing.
sense.
Every team gets a ref.
Like Storm in general, because of obviously, the wrestling.
Because the wrestling, how dodgy they were back in the day.
Like
and still are.
Gavin Badger was at the Tigers and South for a little bit.
All right, do referees support an NRL team?
I reckon they would have had one growing up, but
Do they
now
support one now?
Now I reckon it's like more their job where they just like, I don't care who wins really. I'm here to do my job and not get
I've spoken to
sacked.
a bloke that's in the reffing setup.
Here we go.
I've had a yarn to him.
Here we go.
And I've asked him questions like, can you fix games? Can you like influence games? Can you
fix
do
games?
refs?
Are you going to
have an
name this
agenda?
person?
No. But I've just like had like open conversations because I'm like, I just want to know about refs. And he's just said like, refs, one, can definitely influence a game with like 6 agains and different
Really?
stuff.
Todd Smith said that.
Toddy.
I don't know fucking Todd Smith. No, I'm not getting fucking defamation charged. But like, he said like the influence obviously, but like the main thing is every penalty or call that they do or don't make gets reviewed on a meeting, like in the middle of the week. Yeah. That's what they do.
They all
the
come into a room, the refs.
Yeah, and they go, Jimmy,
You shouldn't have done
Jimmy,
that.
why have you called a 6 again here?
Yeah.
Oh, sir, I thought it was delayed reaction. Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you get torched.
So yeah, if you did like, you might get away with one game, but if you do it continually, you get fed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was the question again?
Don't worry about it. All right, next one. At Sadara Cag, should Super League Tri-Series come back? Queensland, New South Wales and Kiwis.
No.
The Tri-Series.
Oh.
Nah.
That make it interesting,
Queensland,
eh?
New South Wales and
What about all the
Kiwis?
Kiwi boys? Like they'll pay for. Like,
Yeah,
New
what
Zealand?
happens
But
but
there is
who
no
was
one that
born?
plays Kiwis instead
Well,
of
Toya was born in Auckland.
Nanai was. New Zealand.
Nanai
No, but I think because they're a
was.
tier 1 nation, you can't play for either.
Yeah, I reckon it complicates things.
No, but I
Yeah.
just feel like you're doing a
Like, what
state
about
versus
New-
country.
All right, New
What
South
is-
Wales, Queensland, and then like All Star, like everyone else.
Who is everyone else? So how many's
Well,
left?
like everyone else that you can pick
The
from.
Pacific nations, like but then it's like, bruh, it's why are we doing states versus 7 countries? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah, no.
I'm just
No, we're
reading the question.
we're just having a
I don't know.
debate, bro.
I don't see the. I don't see the benefit there. Like
Yeah, okay.
Like,
Nah,
it'll be
I don't
cool,
know.
but I'm just like,
maybe as a one-off, but you know what? What does New South Wales have against like the other team? You know,
Well,
like
Haas wants
there's
to go
gonna-
play for Samoa, so then New South Wales don't have.
But why would they risk their whole bodies and their club teams
for
like,
a nothing tournament.
for a tournament that has nothing?
They already
that
play
means
way
nothing
too
to
many
them?
games if you play
Yeah,
international.
27.
Yeah,
Bro, the international games,
too many
horrible.
games.
Yeah.
I'm
What
gonna
are they
say no.
doing?
Right.
The fact that we're tossing up this instead of
Yeah.
Australia versus Kiwis just shows
Yeah.
everything wrong.
Australia
with international.
Kiwis are even enough. Just let that happen.
Yeah. All right. Next one at CTLA 42. How do Raiders win the comp? 2025 has been a year of upsets. PSG winning the Champions League. NBA could be a random final, etc.
Well, in soccer, every trophy was won by teams breaking the drought. So
Yeah, it's been a year of upsets.
Yeah.
Are we
Massive
going to
year of
see a
upsets.
Yeah, like
different
NBA,
team?
Pacers, OKC, 2 teams that
Weird.
not massive support
Oh, yeah, Knicks
bases.
bet's done.
Knicks are done. Yeah, Knicks
did you
are
back
cooked.
Knicks?
I did back the Knicks, but then I had a saver on Siakam or Halliburton to get MVP. So now I need Pacers to somehow win. And
Yeah,
it
right.
fucking Thunder $1.15. So
Anyway,
Not
how do
looking
Raiders
good.
win the comp?
how do they win it?
How do they win the
They
comp?
keep playing exactly how they're playing. Great footy, tough
Yeah.
in the middle,
Yeah.
exciting backs, great kicking game.
and they just
Keep playing the same
at
way.
finals time just get to that next level.
Yeah.
I just think they can't. They've got to stop the slow starts. Like,
Yeah.
they can't be like,
They can't
we're down.
in a GF. They can't
Like, they can't
expect
be like,
to
oh,
come
we're
back.
down. It's sweet. We're going to come back and win. Like, they've got to like.
Because they'll get found out against a good team.
When the
Yeah.
pressure's on in like do or die finals, that you can't be
Have they
affording to
played
be
Storm
down.
yet?
No, but I'm looking.
Yeah,
forward.
yeah,
Have
they have. Remember at Magic Round?
Oh yeah,
The
they
crazy
did.
finish.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Come on, bro. You were right there.
Right there.
You were obviously drunk.
We were there.
No, it
No,
was
because we left.
Yeah,
It
we
was
came
in the
back
rain.
in and the week scored that mad try.
Yeah, yeah.
At Magic Round, all the
Yeah.
games just blurred into one.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right, next one at Elijah.Allen_10. What do you think will happen to Paddy and Brayley next season? I go to Paddy's school. There you go.
I actually forgot they
was
signed
Paddy.
Brayley, eh?
Yeah.
And they re-signed
Crazy.
Starley.
Did they
Yeah.
re-sign Starlo as
Yeah,
well? So
did.
3 hookers.
What's going to happen there?
That's fast.
I reckon.
Competition's always good though.
I think they were.
Brings out the best.
I
of you.
thought
Yeah.
they were trying to get rid of Starling, and they probably saw how good he was, and we'll
Is
re-sign.
Paddy? Did they re-sign Paddy?
You'd hope so, man.
Cowboys.
If you're looking at form,
scoop.
if you're looking at form only, I think Brayley misses out. But why would they sign him to miss out?
Apparently, Paddy's a Queenslander too.
He's a
He is,
Queenslander.
yeah.
Where did Raiders find him?
Like you don't want to stunt Paddy's growth and not play him, play him.
You
cut.
got to play Paddy.
So I feel like, but then what do you do with Starlo
No,
and
like you play
Brayley?
both.
Like,
you play style. I think it's got to be at the moment. It's,
yeah,
you
do
got
you
to
reckon
go
it stays the way it is, and then
Yeah, I
Brayley
feel
has
like
to?
Brayley's pretty out of form,
Does
eh?
Brayley have to push his way into that side?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
At the minute.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a
so.
weird
Yeah,
one.
as it stands. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one for this week. At Joseph Carriossi, biggest smoky to make the top 8 in 2025.
Biggest smoky to make the top 8. Well, let's get the ladder up because to classify as a
Like,
smoky.
what are we defining
They can't
smoky?
really be in the 8 right now, right?
Like I don't mind like South's a 9th, right? But we're not saying smoky. Like they're obviously a chair.
bit of a smoky.
I don't mind Dolphins to make the top 8. Like
I don't
Yeah.
hate that
because they've been
I don't
playing
hate
so
that.
average the whole year, and they're in 10th. Imagine when they like put some shit together.
That is a bit of a smoky.
Like the Titans, right? They're last, but they're 2 wins off
Nah.
the Dragons, who are in 8.
Titans
I'm
True.
not saying Titans,
yeah,
but I'm just
but their
saying.
4 against is minus 112.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
So that's gonna cook them.
And like they'll probably lose.
Can I
this
say the
week.
Roosters?
You could.
Yeah,
you could
like
say
that's
the
smoky.
Roosters. Yeah, they get Sammy Walker back late
Yeah.
charge.
I'll say
He's
the
playing.
Chookies.
He's playing cup this week. I
Yeah,
think.
he's playing Cup.
Yeah.
I'll say the Chookies.
So the Chookies.
Yeah.
I will go. Who'd you say, Mick?
I said Dolphins.
Can I say Dragons, even though they're already in the 8?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like they're not. I don't know. Like I think either Dragons or South. Well, you can't say Broncos. Like they'll probably make it in the end, but they're not Smokies.
well, you had them penciled in for top 4.
Yeah. Panthers. Would you say they're Smokies?
You could. Probably.
Maybe the Riff. I don't
Just
know.
anyway, just pick someone outside of top 8 and pick it. I'm going Dolphins.
I'll go
gonna
South for once. I'm going to back home the Bunnies. There you go.
That'll do, mate. That'll seriously do me.
I had enough. That's
That'll do me as well. See you guys.